Jamaica has some interesting history, and one such is the urban legend about Lady Musgrave Road found in Jamaica's capital, Kingston. Many Jamaicans will quickly recall the tale of why the road was built and how Lady Musgrave was offended by Jamaica's first black millionaire. A lot of what happened in Jamaica centuries and decades prior were not officially documented, so oral history has immense value. But whatever the tongue states, the tongue can also twist, especially when it's passed down from generation to generation. We look into it and would love to share what we found with you. Before we do so, though, you first need to understand who George Stiebel is, as well as Lady Musgrave, as they are the main characters in today's video. Now, let's begin with George Stiebel, known as Jamaica's first black millionaire. He was born around 1821 to Sigismund Stiebel, a German Jewish trader, and Eliza Catherine Bailey of African descent. Now, not much is known of George's mother. Most reports said she was a slave or a housekeeper. One theorized she was a maroon. More is known and mentioned about his father, who apparently did not disown George. George's early life was marked by modesty. He left school at 14 and worked various jobs, eventually venturing into sea transport between North and South America with the capital his father gave him. In the late 1840s, George transitioned to the arms trade in Cuba, which led him to be imprisoned for a little bit. However, his fortunes changed dramatically when he allegedly discovered a gold mine in South America, which yielded immense wealth. With his newfound riches, George acquired vast and many properties in Jamaica, including sugar plantations and a wharf. He capitalized on the expiration of the Church of England's ownership of Devon Pen in Kingston, where he built the Grand Devon House in 1881. Today we call it Devon House. George visioned his mansion to be a beautiful mix of Caribbean and Georgian architecture, filled with a carefully chosen collection of Jamaican, English, and French antiques. Outside, it overlooks lush green lawns, and George's legacy lives on through Devon House, which was declared a national monument in 1990 under the direction of the Right Honorable Edward Seaga, who was then the Minister of Development and Welfare and later became Prime Minister of Jamaica. Today, many Jamaicans and visitors walk the home of Jamaica's first black millionaire for fun, family entertainment, and recreation in Kingston. Now, many can enjoy tours, shopping, dining, and relaxation at these historical sites. And of course, we know it for the delicious, what many call the best ice cream in Jamaica. Upon entering the renovated grounds of Devon House, you will see a statue of George Stiebel, Jamaica's first black millionaire. Now, despite his success, he faced personal tragedies, including the death of his grandson and son-in-law. He passed away in 1896 at Devon House, leaving behind a legacy of entrepreneurship and wealth that endured through generations. It is important to note that research shows that George, as a self-made entrepreneur in the 19th century Jamaica, believed in educating black people, even when only white or mixed-race children could go to school at the time. He often welcomed government officials like the Governor General to his patio at the Devon House for breakfast. George also served as custos of St. Andrew. He helped fund the Great Exhibition of 1891, aiming to boost tourism on the island. Because of George's dedication, black boys and girls got educational chances they wouldn't have had otherwise. Now, we're giving you a summarized version of George, but there is much more to his story, which we may cover in a video later. If you're still with us, let us know in the comments or, thumbs up. We're going to move on to Lady Musgrave. Now, who is Lady Musgrave? Lady Lucinda Musgrave, born Jeannie Lucinda Field in the US in 1833, was said to be a passionate advocate for women's charity projects across British colonies and in Britain itself, as well as a staunch supporter of conservative politics and the anti-suffrage movement. In 1870, she married Anthony Musgrave, then serving as the Governor of British Columbia, linking her life to the colonial era. Their union marked the beginning of Lady Musgrave's nearly 2-decade-long journey across various British colonies. In 1877, she came to Jamaica, where her husband assumed the role of governor. Lady Musgrave founded the Lady Musgrave Women's Self-Help Society during her time in Jamaica. This group was established in 1879 for the instruction of poor women of the better class in various kinds of ornamental and fancy work, with a view to the sale of such work in the US and elsewhere. If the ladies didn't know how to do these crafts, they could join free classes for 6 months to learn. They could also sell the things they made through the group and keep the money they earned. Lady Musgrave's departure from Jamaica in 1883 was met with heartfelt sentiments from members of the society she had impacted. Alright, so that's it for Lady Musgrave. Now, what Lady Musgrave have to do with George Stiebel? Do you know the urban legend? You probably do. If you're Jamaican, you probably heard the story. But we're gonna, summarize it and tell you what's happening. So Lady Musgrave came to Jamaica in 1877 and left in 1883. Remember? Devon House was said to be built in 1881. Now, you think the urban legend has some truth to it, based on the time period and era? So let's recall the story of why they say Lady Musgrave Road was built and what that has to do with George Stiebel. As many state, in the early 1880s, Governor Anthony Musgrave's wife used to travel downtown from King's House via Hope Road. But then George Stiebel, Jamaica's first black millionaire, built Devon House right along Hope Road. Lady Musgrave was said not to be happy about it. She felt uncomfortable passing by a house built by a black man. So she asked her husband to make a new road to avoid passing George's house. Lady Musgrave Road was said to be built to bypass Hope Road and Devon House because Lady Musgrave did not want to see it. She was said to be shocked that a black man could build such a grand house near the governor's residence. King House, where they live, was the official home of the governor of Jamaica at the time, and the main route to downtown Kingston was along Hope Road passing Devon House. Now, it's believed that Lady Musgrave Road got its name because Lady Musgrave was the one who requested this new road. Now, that's the general story and what is popularly believed. Research shows, though, conflicting information. Some stand behind this story, while others say it is a myth. We did find something interesting as it relates to the actual road. It is stated that the road existed before the Musgraves' arrival. National Library of Jamaica calls the popular story of why the road was built unconfirmed. It is stated that there is no evidence that Lady Musgrave ordered the construction of the road to avoid seeing George's private residence, as well as no road approval records in the Jamaican archives that indicate an order was made for the construction of the road we now know as Lady Musgrave Road. So basically, it has said that during Lady Musgrave time on the island 1877 to 1883, There was no order made for construction of that road we call Lady Musgrave Road during our time on the island. What is stated to exist though is documentation that the road now known as Lady Musgrave Road existed before Devon House was built in 1881. One article published in the Kingston Gleaner on Thursday, February the 7th, 1878, describes the road as a junction leading from Stony Hill to King's House, which is indeed the road now known as Lady Musgrave Road. Now, Lady Musgrave Road, with the name, was first mentioned in a building site announcement published in the Daily Gleaner on November 18, 1905. This indicates that the road was renamed in honor of Lady Musgrave sometime in the early 1900s. The road was likely named after her to recognize her work during her stay in Jamaica. Now, so where the story come from then? If it's that the road exists before Devon House was built and not no go so, at least as it relates to the road itself. Where the story come from? Now, there's some research that shows that, or some articles that mention that it was first mentioned by, I don't think it would be right to call the person's name since we cannot find the official article itself. We'll have to check the library for more information because it's not available online. So it's an article titled Lady Musgrave Road, Born Out of Hatred and Envy, and it was published in the Daily Gleaner on August 29, 1988. According to the story, Lady Musgrave was upset to see Devon House owned by a black man while traveling to Crossroads. However, as we stated, based on the research, there is no solid evidence to support the story. And if we should follow, what is said by road approval records from that time, Jamaican archives, and even though the National Library of Jamaica recalled the story being the reason for the road, they do state that it's unconfirmed. So we leave it up to you with what we found. You can also do further research to see more information. Tell us in the comments what you think. A lie or it not go so? Or if it not go so, a near to so. Tell me now. Let us know if you enjoyed this one. Let us know in the comments. Tell us if you would like more content like this. As usual, take care of yourself, take care of each other. Big up and blessings forevermore.